Initiating System 1.
Hey, what's up, Cyber Realmers? I'm here with another video, right? And I usually don't try to cover this kind of stuff, but I think certain things need to be said, and some people need to be put in their places because it's getting out of hand. If I'm honest, it really is. So here we have on Twitter, Alyssa Mercante, right? So let me make this clear. I don't want you people going and bothering these people. This is just to make you guys aware of situations and whatnot. You know, don't bug these people, leave them alone, and etc. So her name is Alyssa Mercante, right? Senior editor of Kotaku, former Games Radar. She has the she, her pronouns, and she has the word sloot on her profile, right? Now, if we look here, this person here, which is the same person, right, says racism is about systems of power. Therefore, you cannot be racist against white people. The dominant group that maintain and rules among almost all power systems in the Western world, period. So apparently I have to educate a dumbass here. Here's the problem. Racism has nothing to do with system of power, right? It never had anything to do with system of power. If we go and look at the original definition of the word, and we look at the current definition, we can see and understand, right, that these people have essentially changed the meaning of racism because they want to justify. They do this. They change the meanings of words to the point that you're so confused you don't even know what the words mean anymore. This is gaslighting. And they do this because they have to have the power to change the definitions of certain words in order for them to justify the bad actions, the evil deeds, and all this other bullshit so they can feel better about themselves. These people pretend to have morals and have none. Don't believe me? She's calling herself a slut here. Let's be real. She does. She has to put her pronouns. Let's be real. Here's more. And these are the type of people that are trying to educate us on morals, right? These people like this are exactly what they claim everybody else who doesn't have the right think that they have, right? If you don't believe the same things that these people believe, they'll call you racist, they'll call you homophobic, transphobic, and etc., right? And all of those are projections that they put towards you, which they are themselves. For example, oh, you can't be racist to white people, even though she's being racist right now. So she's calling people. So, for example, these are the type of people, right, who will call white people racist, even though they're the ones being racist. They're just projecting what they are to somebody else so they can feel justified in the racist shit they say and do. Me, I don't like bringing this up, but I'm a person of color myself, and I find this very fucking ironic and disingenuous. Because These people have no morals whatsoever. These are the very same people who cry about problems that they're creating themselves in order to not only justify shitty behaviors that they do, immoral behaviors. They do this because they think that this is going to make them good, that this makes them good people, but they're not. These people will call people because apparently I can't say the word. They'll call people the World War II N-word for the N-word that was used against the Germans, right? At the time in World War II. So they'll call them that, but all this bullshit behavior from people like her is the very same behavior that people did in WW2. Because apparently I can't say the word either because I might get canceled or some shit. Because, you know, freedom of fucking speech here in America, apparently. That's not a thing anymore. You can't say certain words because you might offend someone or the algorithm, right? So these people behave like the bad guys in WW2 and yet try to gaslight you and to make you think that you're the bad guy, asking for you to be canceled, for your reputations to be destroyed, right? For you to lose your job and even your life ultimately. Because these people hate the truth. They hate the truth. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about being good. It's just a guise. They're basically doing evil things and being immoral and etc. under the guise of rights, under the guise of feminism, and what other politically correct bullshit they want to pull up. These people are not good people at all. She clearly has no fucking morals if she's calling herself a slut. Right? And it's sad that we allow this kind of shit, to be honest. You know what I mean? These people are crazy. Their thoughts are legitly dangerous. This is World War II stuff happening all over again. And people, what? These people, right? Like I was saying earlier, they call white people racist because, you know, the color of the skin automatically makes white people racist, even though that's racism in itself. But somehow you can't be racist, even though racism can be done by anyone, every race, right? But they pretend that it's only a white person problem. It's not a Hispanic problem, according to them. It's not a black problem. It's not a Asian problem. My point when I say this is to make the case or the point that racism exists in humanity, right? Which is bad. And ultimately, it's not a white people thing. It's a everyone thing. Every person on this planet can be racist. You shouldn't be, but they can be if they wanted to. And she's not, and people like her are not excluded from this. And it gets so tiring because they always, if you notice, the bad guys, the immoral people, the evil people, the people that do bad things are always trying to hide. They're always trying to shame you, right? And then they always try to make themselves like they're the good guys, like they're fighting for justice, like they're the savior of humanity, like they're the savior of white people. They're the savior of people of color like me when they're not. And then when you don't agree with them or you call them out on their shit, for example, then the witch trials start, right? The witch trials start. And this is how you know these people have no truth. When you have the truth, right? People who have the truth have no problem with the truth being criticized or challenged, right? They're open to have a discussion with you and tell you where you're wrong and etc. And they allow you to express yourself. When you don't have the truth, you behave like these fucking clowns. How do they behave when you call them out on shit and they don't have the truth? They block, right? The first thing they do is block. And if they don't block you, they put their accounts on protected mode, right? So you can't comment unless you follow. So so essentially they create their own echo chambers, right? They go into a whole witch trial, which means they try to look for shit you said 20, 30 years ago, even though their closet isn't fucking clean, right? And then they go after your job. They go after your reputation. You lose your job. You lose your reputation. That gets destroyed. No one wants to hire you. And ultimately, guess what else you're going to end up losing to people like this? Your life. Because at the core of it all, these people are vile. These people are evil. These people don't care about the truth. They want to pretend like they're doing a service to humanity, and they're not. They're really not. And they're fucking hypocrites. And the reason why they keep changing the definitions to everything, they change the definitions of a lot of words to suit them. You know why? Because every time they do something bad, since words are not supposed to mean anything according to their logic, they can essentially have an excuse for everything. They Minecraft someone. Oh, that person was racist, this, that, and the fourth, and people are like, okay, cool. That's how they think. They want to destroy your reputation. They want to go to your house, dox you, and essentially threaten you with violence and you know. So at the ultimate of it, these people are pseudo intellectuals. These people are immoral. These people are evil. No one who is actually a good person does the fucking shit that these people are willing to go to, the lengths that these people are willing to go through to destroy you, even if that means ending your own life. Just look at a buddy of mine, right? His name is Fate. Fight all thy enemies. Go give him a follow. Cool dude, right? And there's another guy that he's having issues with. His name is Mike Hollow. Total fucking snake, right? Trash. And the funny part is that they both agree on a lot of things about why they don't like Mortal Kombat 1 and etc. And yet, Mike and his friends, right, have done nothing but try to ruin this man's life. They threatened to get his channel deleted, right? They called him racist when there's no basis for that. I'm a person of color. You know what I mean? I know when someone's being racist and when they're not. They call him a Klansman, which is also false. They called him a Holocaust denier, which he's not even that. And even if he basically, let me explain it this way. He basically is skeptical because that happened 80 years ago. History is essentially written by the victors, which means that countries don't tell you the full story. They always tell you what they want you to hear. So you think that most of these wars were for something heroic and amazing when it wasn't. So they lie. And he makes a good point. And while I don't agree with him, it's his right. If he's skeptical of something that happened 80 years ago, any event in history, whether that was the Holocaust, WW2, WW1, any historical event, that's his fucking right to be skeptical about. Why, me, just because I disagree with him, would I go to the ends of the earth to destroy this man for having his own fucking opinion and free thought? Because he's skeptical about a historical event that he was never a part of, and he's in a totally different country far away from all that shit. Somehow him being skeptical of that makes him a Klansman, right? That seems crazy to me. He's also been called transphobic, homophobic, and all the fucking icks that you can come up with. And it's nothing more than a smearing campaign, a witch trial to go after a man for simply being skeptical of historical events. Well, actually, it's mostly because he gave his opinions on Mortal Kombat 1 over a fucking video game, bro. These people are trying to basically have a witch trial with the man for giving his fucking opinions on Mortal Kombat 1, which the game fucking sucks, by the way, right? And then calling a couple of chills nicknames like like ketchup and mustard being called the condiment twins or the condiment clowns. And yet people like Mike are trying to preach to Fate, right? And set standards that Fate must follow according to them. And the ironic part about this is like this female right here, right? They don't even follow their own fucking standards. It's rules for thee, but not for me. The very same guy, for example, Mike Hollow, who was preaching all this bullshit and putting standards and etc. on Fate, was the same guy who later turned around and started doing the very same shit he was preaching against. Because these people have no fucking morals. None of them. That is the core of the woke mind virus. Is essentially these people are the very same people that did the whole world event in WW2. The very same people that they love to call the N-word for WW2. Their very behavior speaks what they are. Their very behavior is essentially the social party in Germany from World War II. Oh, look, I slipped up. I said what WW2 means. And it's sad. And people have to understand that these people are not moral. You should not be scared of these people. These people are evil and vile. And the more you cater to them, the more power you give them. It doesn't matter what nicknames they want to call you. Those nicknames mean nothing because they're not using the terms or the buzzwords the correct way. They're not. They can call you transphobic. Hell, I get called that because I don't want to date a trans person because I'm not gay. Right? I get called a bootlicker, right? Because I'm a person of color. Because someone else who's another person of color decided to be racist against white people, and I called them out for that. So that apparently that makes me a bootlicker. Even though these are the very same people who claim racism is wrong and yet turn around and start being racist to white people. Imagine that. But it's not racism according to them. It's not. They even had it. They are so anti-truth that they literally had to change the definitions of words, like the word racism, so they can add that in order to be racist, there needs to be a system of systems of power, which does not remotely even come close to that. That's not even what racism is. It has nothing to do with systems of power. Like, yes, for example, you can have systemical racism. And what I mean by that, I hate using the term, is like when like Jim Crow laws existed and etc. They used laws to, racist laws, and they passed racist laws. It's fine. That in that term, sure. But racism, the definition was changed so that they could excuse themselves and claim that they're not being racist, even though they are, so they can justify their racism against whoever the hell they want to say it. Because they're racist to us too. The moment you're a minority person, right? And I hate using that term, when you're a person of color, right? When you're not white, whether that be Asian, Mexican, Spanish, black, etc. When you don't have the same mentality that these people, when you don't have the same mentality these people have, guess what happens? They call you a fake Hispanic. They call you, they tell you you're not black. They tell you that you're brainwashed. Hell, when the whole little peaceful march happened in 2020, if I recall correctly, maybe 2021, somewhere around there, people of color got killed. I'm sorry, people of color were Minecrafted for being conservative, for not thinking like them. And I don't really like or care about talking politics. I'm just calling this person out and explaining what these kind of people are. It doesn't matter whether you're a conservative, whether you're a liberal. Both sides need to open their eyes to shit like this. Right? Everyone should. Because this shit is dangerous. This is why WW2 happened. This is why the witch trials happened. Why every event of mass Minecrafting exists is because of people with this kind of mindset. But they try to project their fucking behavior on everybody else. Everybody else can feel sorry or sad or ashamed because they're being called shit like racist and phobic and whatnot. And again, don't go harassing these people. This is just me making a video to educate you guys on what kind of fucking shit behavior is this. These people have no truth. These people have no morals. None. She literally calls herself a slut. And talks about how she essentially blew someone. Or less she likes to blow. And degenerate shit like that. But these are your pillars of morals, right? These are the pillars of morals for society. These are the people that are gonna save humanity. These are the people that are gonna be the saviors of everyone, right? The saviors of people of color, the saviors of white people, and the saviors of humanity. Apparently, these are it. And don't get it twisted. If you think this is bad, And all the shit that they've been doing, it's going to get worse. It's going to get very much worse. Very much worse. That your own family, your own children, your own friends will turn against you and they will put you to death. They will give you up to death. Because when you cater and enable this shit, World War II and every other event similar to that is what happens. I'm going to end this with this quote. The world is a dangerous place to live in, not because of evil people, but because of those who look on and do nothing. Think about that. Anyways, this video's been long enough and I've been repeating myself a couple times. So you get the point. Don't cater to these people. You know, do the right thing. Not because you get a reward, but because it's the right thing to do. They're taking over comics. They've taken over movies. They've taken over almost everything, bro. Nothing is sacred anymore. These are the same people teaching your children in schools, in colleges, online, etc. These are the people teaching your kids through story time, if you know what I'm talking about, cartoons, etc. These people have an agenda, and this agenda is not about being peaceful. It's not about doing the right thing. It's not about morals. It's not about being good. It's all smoke and mirrors, so that when you least expect it, you end up in the very same camps people were ending up in WW2. And if you don't believe me and you want to keep ignoring history, let it go. See how well that turns out. It ain't going to turn out very well. I'm telling you. These people are not moral in the slightest. They hate the truth. And they hate people who do follow the truth. That's why when you go against them with the truth, with actual facts, with actual morals, with actual goodness, they will do whatever they can to destroy you, your income, your reputation, your family, and ultimately your lives. But I think I've said enough. So I'll leave it there, and I'll see you guys next time.